Ryan says students aren't bribed or coerced in any way. There's just so many lines to check through. Bribed or coerced in any way. Ah, that is the one. Didn't think it would be under the auto-hypnosis part, though.
Aha. So, students aren't coerced or bribed in any way, except Kate.
I'm not sure what you mean.
You said you were going to give Kate the £500 as an incentive. That's coercion, isn't it?
I really don't think you could call it coercion, Inspector. It was an incentive, that's all, a little encouragement.
So, how often do you use incentives?
Okay, incentive is probably the wrong word. The money was just to see how Kate would respond. It was part of her assessment.
Assessment?
Now it's an
We have to
assessment.
assess students as they progress. We don't use conventional methods like sitting an exam or anything like that. People pay for this course per session. We have to know if they're committed or not.
So you're assessing their progress and testing their commitment?
Yes, we are. We have to. This is a business, not a charity.
So Ryan's claiming the money was part of Kate's assessment. And did this assessment also involve threshold testing, I wonder? Or was the money for something else?
Alright, well, we didn't get a new bit from that, so...
That's all for the moment, thank you.
I think I'm supposed to storm out and close the door now. Call the chief time. Oops.
Jenks, tell me what you know first, but this time I've got something to tell you.
Really? Well, what I found out is that Simon was asked by Ryan to test Kate to see if she was good enough to become prime candidate.
Prime what?
Prime candidate. It's the best of the bunch. The best Atlas student. The prime candidate gets an instant job on a fantastic salary as soon as they leave the course.
And how do they work out who's the best of the bunch?
That's what I'm trying to work out.
Well, that's very interesting. I'll tell you what I know, shall I? That name they used to trade under, Third Eye. Turns out they were investigated 3 years ago over an allegation of physical abuse. Torture, Jenks. Witness had puncture marks through both arms.
There you go.
And Atlas weren't charged?
There was nothing to charge them with. The witness inflicted the wounds herself. Witness said it was something called threshold testing, whatever that means. Go figure, as they say in America.
Can I ask the rounds about this?
There's no point. They won't tell you anything, and it'll just put them on the defensive. Just keep chipping away at them. Try and find out what this testing involves. That's the best thing. Get something on them, and you'll be in a better position.
Right.
Done.
Thank you, Chief.
Nearly there, Jenks.
Found an asshole trying to spear his freaking hand with a skewer already.
Couple more questions, if that's okay.
Yeah, I don't know why there's like this time rush on solving it by midnight exactly. I don't remember anyone saying anything was time sensitive exactly, so he's just kind of decided that. Yeah, there's not really a thing about testing in here, as far as I know. Like, it didn't update with a clarified red one, like it usually does. So I can't really put that incentive testing thing up against students aren't tested, because I don't have the first one of those. Yeah, I agree, Lynn. I do think he would make a good doctor for real. I think he's got, like, all the elements that make a good doctor. Hey, Baron. They have bad short-term memory. When it's midnight, everyone forgets the whole thing. Check the auto-hypnosis tab. Oh! It's up there. Stupid thing. They should, like, merge them or something. That's just a weird structural problem. Students aren't tested.
Aha. Well, which one is it, Ryan? Do you test students or not?
Well, some of them, yes.
Including Kate?
Yes.
Why was she being tested?
She was being tested because
He's gonna crack his glass.
we wanted to see if she was good enough to become prime candidate, okay?
So Kate
Oh my God, he
was
shot
in the running to be
through his
prime
cup.
candidate.
Yes!
And did you ask Simon to test her?
Yes, I did. But I didn't ask him to do anything stupid. He knew it was against course rules.
How far did you ask him to push her?
I didn't ask him to push her. I asked him to test her. There's a huge difference!
The mic! The mic peaked
If
so
Simon
hard.
decided to give her too much caffeine or morphine or whatever, that's his responsibility. So if he did anything wrong, it was his own responsibility. He did it with his own mind and his own hand.
Christ,
We
that
had
mic!
nothing to do with it.
Buy a fucking compressor, bro.
Midnight, and still no suspect, unless you count everyone I've interviewed. It's no surprise that Ryan wants to avoid any suggestion of being responsible for Kate's death, but I wonder if the man protests just a little too much.
I thought we were gonna go from intense anger to, like, somber realization that he's caught. And then he's gonna hold his glass, look into it, and look at Jenks and say, "Will there be pain?" And Jenks will say, "No, I made sure of that."
A few more questions, please. Thank you.
I don't know what I'm trying to do here. There's nothing to ask. Best not to ask Rebecca about the money for Kate. Perhaps
Be back
not.
later on, if that's okay.
Scroll down. Oh, did I just, like, not go to the bottom?
Ask you a couple more things, please.
Oh, Kate's Prime status. Is she an Amazon Prime user or no? The same question could be applied to all of you.
Do you know Kate Vine was a prime candidate?
No.
No. The end.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Ah, the witching hour. Shall we find Lisa in her natural habitat? No. What about James? James is always a cheery bloke.
Just a few more questions, if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah, we're back to that again, James, eh? Nothing? Nothing at all. Okay.
That's it for the time being. Thank you.
Bye, James. You're so helpful as always. Alright. Thank you to Yazarok for the 4 months saying you are a Twitch Prime candidate. I'm sure there's quite a few of you in here. Top students all over.
Ask about a few more things, please.
How do you think you'd have reacted if you'd found out that Kate had been chosen to be prime candidate?
Is that... was she?
I'm just asking how you think you'd react.
I don't know.
I wouldn't react in any way, really. I'm not bothered. I don't think she was, though.
What makes you think that?
Well, it's just an impression I got. You know, she's a bit flaky, to be honest. It's just not really prime candidate material.
Interesting.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
So Emma would probably be the next closest one to know then, right?
Do you know whether Kate was in the running to be prime candidate or not?
I don't, but I do think she would have been chosen just because she was, you know, Kate.
You didn't discuss it with
Because
Kate.
Ryan had a
She never
thing
talked
for
about
Kate.
this.
Funny enough. Kate didn't discuss the Atlas course, thinks Kate would be chosen. I wish I could cross-examine this, put the two against each other. Oh, I think Kate wouldn't have been chosen. Well, I think she would have been. So she thinks Kate has no morals. Kate didn't discuss the Atlas course. Emma, I know you got one more big lie in you. Girl. Takamina 22603, thank you very much for the year of consecutive
that's all for the moment. Thank you.
subscribership. I'm gonna go head back to Ryan again. I want to make him bust his glass or something.
Be
Oh,
back later on,
wrong
if that's
person.
okay.
Or maybe I should actually just walk around a bit more. Do the stroll through the woods, as has become customary every new hour. See if there's a weird drunk person on the side of the road that wants to tell me about the case. Wrong way. Jetty at midnight. No? Titties at midnight? Anybody else spearing their hand into a tree? See if there's anybody in the kitchen at midnight making a midnight snack, some finger food, some fish fingers and custard might be perfect for Jenks. I feel like he would just really enjoy it. No, he doesn't have to return all the crap he stole. That's just evidence now. You ever seen how the police work? They just take stuff, and then they keep it. It's like the TSA. That's a hate crime? That's just Doctor Who, baby. Yeah, there's nothing. Well, the way they get back, though, like, they give back to the community is sometimes the police put things in places where there are crimes, so they actually give some of their possessions back. Oh, he's just gone now. Okay, we gotta go back to Paul. Paul will know. Or he'll have a shotgun to my head when I walk in the door. I feel like that's his thing.
Couple more questions, if that's okay.
Nope, not at all.
Was Kate a prime candidate?
Well, as Ryan has probably already told you, yes, she was.
Did you ask Simon to test her?
Yes, it's company policy. Leaders don't get involved.
And it covers your back, of course.
Well, nobody knows the students better than they do, Inspector. It's much better to let them just work it out among themselves.
It isn't very professional to force students to test each other to the point where one of them gets killed, Paul.
We don't force students to do anything that they don't want to do, Inspector.
So you don't force them into being tested?
No, we don't encourage anybody to hurt or offend anybody else here.
Yeah, and you
You
don't
don't
force
use
them to take
threshold
morphine
testing.
or stick
No.
poles through their
If Simon
hands.
Thompson went too far with Kate, that's his responsibility, not ours. He's the one you should be speaking to, if truth be told. I don't trust him myself.
Students not encouraged to hurt each other, doesn't use threshold testing. Leaders don't get involved in testing students. Kate was being tested for prime candidate. Students not encouraged. I feel like we just dropped the whole CCTV thing. Like, that would be kind of useful that we could use that footage. Oh, because he pickpocketed them. Yeah, so they do get involved. That kind of puts his story at a bit at odds with the whole thing. All right, let's see. Simon's stolen laptop. Committed a fake theft which he videoed. Leaders don't get involved. That doesn't count? You're joking. Thank you very much, Qbert, for the 5 months resubscription. Just for you, let's do rock jellies for Qbert. That's a bird. Can you hear that bird? It's going bark, 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 bark. What a weird bird. That wasn't a test, it was just for giggles. Oh, good jellies, good jellies. How do we prove he was using threshold testing? Suspected Kate of trying to play him. I feel like that would go down. No? Maybe. Mirror room recording. No, it just says CD is used on the course. Doesn't say anything about a recording. Do you remember what they said on the mirror room CD? I kind of don't already, actually. CCTV was under laptop theft. Maybe... Yeah, has since installed CCTV. I mean, I feel like that has to be important somehow. I do agree there's some problems with the interface. I mean, I understand where they're coming from, that they wanted to keep it super simple. And, I mean, it might be the most effective way to do it without making it even more accidentally complicated. I just wish it was a bit easier to group these thoughts in a way that would be practical. Or retire some of them after they're not useful anymore, just to keep this list from being this long. It was an iOS title, right? That would probably help explain it then. Yeah, I think it was originally, actually, and then they ported it to PC later. What am I doing here? I guess occasionally they just want it to be... Well... There's sort of a threshold between contradiction and, like, supporting evidence to some of these statements. I guess they've been pretty clear about them mostly being contradictions. But occasionally you see a pattern between two of them, and you kind of want to see that if you put the two together, it makes a third thing, but it doesn't really work that way at all. CD and mirror room used in course doesn't use threshold testing. Oh, maybe because I forgot the contents of the CD. Okay. I wouldn't have gotten that one. I don't remember that.
You don't endorse threshold testing, that's the phrase, isn't it?
Yes.
Except you do, Paul. Because you told me that the students use that CD in the mirror room. I've listened to that CD, and it very clearly mentions threshold testing. You keep batting this away, Paul. We don't really use hypnosis. The students aren't really tested, but I am this close to launching a full-scale investigation.
Look, we get a kickback from these students, and they have to be exceptional. Of course we have to test them. That doesn't mean we do anything illegal. What do you think we do? Bump off the ones we don't like?
Well, that depends on how far you push them, doesn't it?
Well, we certainly don't kill them. Nobody here wanted Kate dead.
I'm sure they didn't. But what do you expect, Paul, when you put students under that much pressure?
She was a very, very valuable student. She was worth a lot to the business.
Really? And how much would that be?
But if you really want to know, 50 grand.
She was worth 50 grand?
Yes.
What, you were selling her?
Of course we were selling her. You don't get this, do you? We make perfect employees. Month after month. That's all we do.
What do you mean, perfect employees?
What big business needs, Inspector, more than anything else, is none of this altruistic, goody-goody crap. What we look for is people with ambition. No ethics. Push. Greed is good. All right? We don't deal with all this comfort stuff. The survival of the fittest. That's all there is. There's no higher purpose, no big plan. There's nothing at the end of the rainbow, except what you have and you can enjoy in the here and now.
Yay, capitalism!
Paul?
You're gonna have to excuse me, Inspector. I'm a very busy man. I've got work to do.
I'll see myself out.
Lovely man, your father.
Shut the gate on your way out.
Shut the door, baby. Don't say a word. Whoa! Sneaky Jenks! Sneaky Jenksy? Look at him being busy.
Best to shut this place down. Get rid of him. He's a policeman. We can't just. You sort this. You man up and you sort it. Tonight.
Oh, shit. He did the hand chop. That's what judo chop means! Ryan in the judo chop! I figured out the mystery! I gotta call the
That
chief.
doesn't sound good. Two totally morally bankrupt men are plotting to get rid of me. It's midnight. I don't have any backup and I don't even have a mobile phone. This is potentially quite bad. And what's Kyle got to do with it? I think I might make my way over to Atlas while Ryan isn't there. Maybe lock myself in.
Chief, you better be there. I know it's late, but they're gonna kill me. No, he's not home. Where's the TARDIS? Why can't I just fly away? Oh, he's not coming. I'm dead. Bad ending. Lisa will help me. No, she won't. So go to Atlas and lock yourself in, huh?
Damn. I suppose it was too much to hope that Ryan had left the place open.
Alright, we could just skulk in the woods for a while. That seems like as good a plan as any. Oh, back to the dogging site. Oh, shit.
Prove to me that you're man enough to do this, Kyle, and then you can deal with that ridiculous police inspector.
What is this? What the hell? Scotland Yard. Not hell. Hello, Ryan.
Hello, Inspector. What are you doing here?
Inspecting. So,
Can you help the girl that's being stabbed almost?
I don't think you'd understand, Inspector. The best thing that you can do is turn around, go away, and leave us to it.
knife.
What?
That knife gives me a perfect right to stick my nose in, investigate, and interfere.
This is all part of the Atlas course. It's a physical endurance exercise.
Drop the knife. The knife, Kyle!
Kyle.
Drop it!
Drop it.
Not looking 100% brilliant for you, Ryan.
Well, please, Inspector, you've poked your nose into Atlas's affairs enough times to know that imaginative flair is part of the course's success. Our lessons are reinforced by a unique emotional experience.
Terror?
It's an extremely evocative tool.
Well, it's a good job you're not in charge of the national curriculum.
Now look, Inspector, I know what you're trying to do. I know what you're thinking. But believe me, Atlas had nothing to do with the deaths of those people.
Eyewitness account of a satanic sacrifice in the woods. That's not what we call circumstantial evidence, Ryan.
Simon. Now, I saw Simon walking home with Kate last Friday after the meeting. Now, Simon had some strange idea that he was in the running to become prime candidate. Well, a knob of butter has more chance of becoming prime minister. Oh, wait.
So are you
A
telling me...
knob of butter.
Simon killed her. Well, it seems reasonable. It's likely, isn't it?
Any more likely than you, Ryan?
big.